Any emoji in the chat box, any. Let's test that chat box, see if it works. Yay, I like it. You can hit, brilliant. Nice, good, good. Happy emojis. All right, keep your fingers on that chat box because I want to warm up your fingers and make them nice and nimble. Right, so first question in our this or that. Are you ready? So, Barbie or Oppenheimer? Make your vote now. Barbie. Oh my goodness. Come on. Oh, yeah, a couple people going for the Oppenheimer. Keep going. Oh, actually, Oppenheimer might be edging forward. Barbie, all for the win. Oh, I think some people are double voting here. You're cheating. Okay, all right. I call it a draw. Not if Michelle has anything to do with it. Okay, right. Next one. Keeping on a kind of film theme, DC or Marvel? Oh, Marvel, we got Marvel people in here. Yeah, my daughter will agree with you. Neither? Oh, come on. Aura, why? What did they ever do to you? Marvel, except I'm ready for Blue Beetle. Okay. Okay, Kat, yeah, I agree. You're outnumbered. Cool. Right, last one. Just so I know that you're all awake. Last question. This one's controversial. Dogs or cats? Dogs, cats. Cats all the way. Dogs. Somebody is screaming. Doggos. Okay. Cool. Right. Okay. I think we're all awake. Look, this is a split panel. You're all very opinionated. So that's good. I like that. Keep those opinions because I'm going to be asking for them. We're going to have a Q&A today. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to start the session now. So, welcome. Welcome, everyone, to the Girls Who Codes panel. This one's on beyond traditional media, how technology has evolved the industry. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. You can save some for our Q&A later, though, because we want to hear from you guys a bit later, okay? That's a little bit about the housekeeping. We like questions, okay? So keep them in mind, okay? So today we're going to embark on a wild adventure. And this adventure is going to be going through the digital realm where media and technology have become best buddies. My name is Nzinga, and I am your moderator for today. Now, I live and I work in the United Kingdom. I was born in London, and 2 years ago, I moved to a small town near Oxford. It's a small town called Bicester. I moved there with my 12-year-old daughter. Her name is Noah, N-O-A, super cool name. And she's my total pride and joy. She is funny. Wish she was on this call. I work for News UK now, and I work in their technology team. News UK is one of the many News Corp companies, and they do own quite a few. You'll hear a few of them later today. Now, News UK own quite a few well-known British newspaper and radio brands, and most British people have heard of them. For example, the Sun newspaper. I don't have the paper, but I have the brand here. Do you guys see that? Look at that. I don't know if you've seen it before, but that's a very popular paper. We also have another one called the Times newspaper and radio brands such as Virgin Radio and Talk Sport. I work in an area called business operations. Now, it might sound boring, but I promise you it isn't. I get to do some really cool stuff. I promote a healthy work culture. And I also get to organize school outreaches and promote careers in tech to young people like yourselves, and much what I'm doing on the panel right now. Now, speaking of the panel discussion, I have another important question to ask. Back to the chat, please, and answer this question for me. Listen carefully. When I say the word media, what is the first word or sentence that springs to mind? Let's hear from you now. Social media, news, TV, yeah. News, yeah, phone, okay. Things that people watch, see all the time and are therefore heavily influenced by, okay. Connection. Art forms are consumed, oh, that's nice. Online articles, anything you consume or touch. Social media, okay, good. I mean, do you know, the thing is, you guys are all right. You're all right. Because, you know, one of the ways to explain media is it's like communicating with loads of different people, or it could also be called mass communication. So media will be the method or the tool that you use to communicate the information to the masses. Okay. Now, for example, you have print media. I just mentioned the Sun newspaper. So print media will be newspapers, publishing with books and catalogues. You've got the movies, that's a form of media, traditional broadcasting, which is where you watch the television or Sky or boxes that you can use to sort of broadcast through satellite. You also have digital media, which is websites, images, and even includes social media, such as YouTube and Facebook. Now, the question, I'm not going to ask him, it's a question out loud and I will answer it myself. How exactly has the media changed through the ages and what role has technology played in evolution? It's a very important question to get a sense of what we'll be discussing on the panel today. Now, I'm going to give you a little history of it. So just bear with me and hopefully you'll learn quite a lot from this. Now, just imagine for a moment a world without smartphones, no YouTube, no social media, not even the internet. Guess what? That was my reality when I was your age. That is the world I existed in and a few others besides beyond the call, okay? That was my reality. I was over like around 30 years ago now. And since then, the media, as we know, has gone through incredible transformation. Now, let's start in the 1980s. I was going to primary school then. You guys call it elementary school in the USA. I wasn't a teenager yet. I was probably around, let's cast my mind back to when I was about 9 years old. When the very early versions of computers were just being installed in my primary school. And they were just these huge clunky boxes. They didn't have any fancy graphics and they only performed basic tasks. Now, the invention was improved over time and it led to the first personal computers, which we could keep at home. Now, again, this invention was improved upon over the years. They got faster, then smaller, more portable, and eventually led to the light and fast laptops that we have today. Now, the next major evolution was around the 90s. I was a teenager by now, and guess what came in? The World Wide Web. Can I say that word? The World Wide Web. It became a thing. And now it was just an exciting, new, brave world where all the computers were connected through this web and we were able to browse information and connect with each other. It was such a cool world to live in when it first came out. It was so exciting. It was a world where friendships knew no boundaries. By the 2000s, the internet had become faster, more accessible, and then you had social media platforms coming in. So that's when Facebook was born, and and later on Twitter and YouTube followed, and all these platforms just exploded. Now collaboration and communication over the web was instant, and people could share their thoughts, photos, and videos with just about anybody online. By the late 2000s, we saw the arrival of the smartphone and applications that came with it. Now, before this, we had these massive brick phones that were really heavy. Most of them were called Nokia or Motorola. I had both brands. And you only use it to make phone calls and send basic text, nothing else, okay? And over time, again, these small cell phones got smaller, lighter, more powerful, in fact, even more powerful than the computers I used at school when I was a kid. This tiny little thing with 10 times the power of what I was using at school. That's what you're using today. Now, with the rise of app stores, there was a whole new universe for gaming and learning and connecting with friends. Now we're now around the 2000s as the introduction of streaming came in. We got rid of VHS tapes and DVDs. I don't know if you've heard of those. You can Google it later. And companies like Netflix and Disney Plus came in. Now, there was no more waiting for a movie to start. We could watch it right away. You guys have no idea what the pain was of missing a program. Okay, you don't know what that felt like. That was my life. Now, from about 2010, the next big thing was the explosion of artificial intelligence. And that felt like having a super smart friend inside of your devices. So that's how AI kind of became this thing that's trapped in a little box, like you've got your Alexa or your Google Home. It can answer any questions you want, and it can recommend things to you, what you might want to watch next. It's like having a personal assistant right in your hands. So, my young friends, media has come a very long way in the last 30 or so years. It has brought us closer together and has made life much more exciting, but it also has meant traditional media has changed. No longer can you simply assume that because someone says they work in media, that they should have a role in front of the camera or behind the camera on the production set. Actually, you're far more likely to meet the kind of women here on our panel lineup. Now, I think this is a great time to move to our panel of speakers and allow them to say who they are, a little of what they do, and they might even throw in a fun fact about themselves. So here we go. I'm going to call on Ivy. Ivy, step up and let us know where you work and a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you, Nzinga. Such a great introduction. So hi there, everyone. I'm Ivy Okike, and just like Nzinga, I am based in the United Kingdom, working at News UK as the Diversity and Inclusion Manager. But before I go on, who here has heard about diversity and inclusion? If you have, just share your definition in the chat box, or just nod your heads if you have. No? Yeah, I see a few nods. That's brilliant. Perfect. Okay, so diversity and inclusion is all about embracing and celebrating our differences. It's about creating a space where everyone feels valued, respected, regardless of your age, your background, your race, your gender, or beliefs. It's like a big, colorful puzzle where each unique piece adds to the beauty and strength of the whole picture. Embracing diversity makes our world richer, more exciting, and inclusion ensures that everyone gets a seat at the table and a chance to shine. So everyone is a star. So as the Diversity and Inclusion Manager at News UK, I'm in charge of handling research, our employee resource groups, or as we call them here, our networks, and all our tech-related projects. And if anyone wants to chat about anything diversity and inclusion related, drop me a line after this. And a fun fact, I believe that there's always a silver lining in any situation. You're amusing.
Ooh, sorry. Thank you, Ivy. Silver lining. Talking of which, let's go to Rebecca. Rebecca, step up and tell us about your silver lining in life.
Hi, I am Rebecca Anderson. I am based in Phoenix, Arizona, where it's 1,000,000 degrees. And I work for Realtor.com. Realtor.com is a subsidiary of News Corp. And I've been with, we call it RDC for short, for about 2 years now. And I work in the tech space. My role is really to help our technology organization be more innovative, focus on engagement, culture, diversity stuff. So I really have the opportunity to work across all of our software engineering teams and help with that specifically. Fun fact about me, I actually was in the US military in the Air Force. No, I did not fly a plane. I was actually in military police for about 8 years. I had the opportunity to be deployed to Germany, Korea, Iraq, and Kuwait. That's a fun fact about me.
There I go again. There I go again on the mute button. So, Rebecca, thank you so much. I'm going to ask Catherine to come forward and let us know a little bit about herself and a fun fact if she would love to share.
Hi, everyone. My name is Catherine Lordy. I am based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All of our panelists are from all over, which is so exciting. I've been at Dow Jones under News Corp owning the brands of Wall Street Journal and Barron's for 2 years. And my role is associate product manager of experimentation. So what that means is like running testing on our users to test different product features before we launch a winner to the audience and ensure that we're launching features that actually improve the user experience and really have like a focus on human computer interaction and center design. So that's a little bit about me and the role that I do. And prior to working in this role as an associate product manager, I started as a software developer in the aerospace and defense industry. So kind of studied computer science and management in school and really learned to code and everything, and took a lot of those skills with me into being a product manager in this role at Dow Jones, which has been really cool. And also I was inspired to go into STEM from being on a robotics team in high school, which really shaped a lot of who I am, and really being excited about technology and being on an all girls team in high school was really, really fun. Another fun fact about me is that, so my family's really, really into baseball. There's 30 parks in the United States and I've been to 26. So that's a fun fact I like to share, and something I've done with my dad and traveling to different states.
I love it. Okay, I was checking if I had the mute off there. Thank goodness. Last but not least, we met Ivy, by the way, and now we've also met Rebecca. We just met Catherine, but I believe you guys have met Nicole before. She's going to reintroduce herself anyway, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself, what she does.
Hi again, everybody. Nicole Castillo. I work at News Corp. So I'm the only one sort of repping kind of our global headquarters. And I'm the vice president of product. And what that means is a lot of different things. What I was hired to do is very different than what I do today. I was hired to lead mobile products across News Corp. So I have a deep interest and affinity in mobile, but my work has shifted and changed and evolved, which is somewhat of a theme in most of our careers. In general. And so going with the flow is definitely something that I've embraced across my career. But what I do now is I work on really promoting internal open source. So how to bring code sharing across our global businesses, because we have such richness in kind of our engineering talent. How do we bring that across and not duplicate effort? And then the other thing that I do that is really cool is I work on AI, the big scary behemoth. What is AI and how do we use it? How do we harness it for the greater good instead of being eaten by the robots? I'm tackling that each and every day. I also lead a group of product designers who are incredible, design really amazing things and experiences. And I lead some of our DE&I efforts across our global technology team. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I like to do a little bit of everything. I like to have my hand in a couple different pots. And then some fun facts about me. I'm a mother of two. I've got a little girl who's 4 years old, and I have a son who just turned 1 year old last weekend. And my kind of extra fun fact, I was in London last week with those beautiful ladies Zing and Ivy. It was great to see them in person. And then next week I go to Las Vegas for a conference. And at the end of the month, I go to San Francisco. So I'm doing a lot more travel than I anticipated. So juggling the mom life and the career life, it's hitting hyperdrive right now. So again, I wouldn't have it any other way. So that's me. Back to Zing.
Thank you, Nicole. We're going to stick with you actually, because I might actually ask you for the first question. I think I might ask you. It's a simple one, guys. We're going to move into the panel segment. I don't know if you've actually been in a panel discussion. It's basically, this one is online, so it's not quite what you'd find in person, where we'd normally have a platform and a few people sat down and I'll sit in the middle and ask them questions. But we're going to do this in this room here, and do feel free to make your comments in the chat, ask questions. And I'm going to be talking to the panel for about half an hour, ask them a few questions. I'll try and revolve around them and ask them at least one question each, okay? And these questions are going to be around beyond traditional media, how media has changed over the years. Okay, all right. So Nicole, I have a first question for you. You ready?
Ready, so ready.
Now tell me, what is something you learned after you started working at News Corp?
Oh, I love that question. So I'll start with a story. So I work in the New York office. I'm based in New Jersey, but I work in our New York office, and there's a floor, the 6th floor in our headquarters building in Midtown that has a hallway with all of the Pulitzer Prize winning authors. So whether it's teams or specific content, and you walk down this and you're looking at these beautifully framed from over across different years. And you get kind of these goosebumps because you think about sort of the impact of this journalism has had on society and how important the work that we do is in so many different ways. So I kind of, I don't think I was able to fully appreciate it until I kind of like walked in the halls. And then I was in London again a couple of weeks ago, and I'm walking on the floor with the Sun team, and it's just, it's the newsroom, and there's an energy. There's just a palpable energy that comes from our brands and the passionate people that work to bring this news. Now, again, I think when I got here, I kind of didn't know how much it would be just those people in the newsroom doing that thing, and I wouldn't really have a place, and I wouldn't know how to add value to what they do. But in what I do, and I do product management, I'm responsible for helping them in either the tools that they use, make it more efficient, more productive for them to do what they do, be more creative, create this wonderful content that gets you, and then on kind of like distribution side, like your mobile phones, the apps that you might have, make sure our content is getting out. And so it's this really interesting interconnectedness that I think on the outside of media and kind of looking at, again, the content that comes out, what's my place in producing these amazing pieces of work, and how do I influence them? So I think it's been really, really exciting. And I'll just throw out one kind of cool fact that I didn't really realize before I joined, the rich history of some of our brands. So a fun fact, one of our brands is